Good evening and welcome to this board meeting for Tuesday, June 7th. Everybody could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Grigsby? Here. Mrs. McCarthy?
Here.
Mrs. Saxon?
Here.
Mrs. Tamira?
Here.
Mr. Buck?
Here. Finalization of the agenda. Is there anything to add and or delete?
The agenda is final as presented.
Thank you very much. We'll move right into the superintendent's treasurer's report.
Okay, fantastic. So tonight it is my pleasure to share with the board the updated goals for the 22-23 school year. I do appreciate all the feedback that went into creating these goals. Many of them stay fairly consistent, but we do have a pretty big project ahead of us, and so part of our new goal, number 6, reflects much of that work. Let's get right into it. There we go. Okay, so goal number 1, and I think this goes without saying, always our goal is to continue to work toward improving our student achievement. And I think we have made some tremendous strides this past year, despite the pandemic, to not only continue to implement high quality professional development for staff, high quality curriculum for teachers, but also not using the pandemic as a crutch to move forward with many of the curricular implementations that we have had. Moving forward, we are looking to continue to do a couple of new areas, specifically continuing to refine our work in curriculum at all levels. And as many of you are aware of, our teacher-based teams and building leadership teams do drive much of the work as it revolves around professional development in regard to mapping and resources that are used. And certainly our curriculum department, our student services department have done an outstanding job trying to be sure that we are following those processes with fidelity and in a way that truly impacts student achievement. We are also looking, next year is an exciting year for Ranger High Tech Academy. We're adding grade 12, so we will have our first graduating class. The discussions there have surrounded a senior year experience. What does that look like? And certainly we will be looking to all of you as we look to shape what that might be for our students. And then continuing to implement culturally responsive practices, policies, and procedures that are inclusive of our school community's voices. Really making sure that we are providing high interest, high quality curricular items for all of our students. And also making sure that, again, our school student and teacher population do have a voice in what it is that we are presenting to our students and making sure that we are doing so with fidelity. Goal number 2, to foster relationships in a collaborative working environment with all employees. As all of you are aware, this past year we were very successful in negotiating 2 pretty significant contracts, I think in record time, although moving forward there are ways to continue to foster those relationships and continue to build upon that work that we've already completed. We do want to create an environment where people feel represented, valued, heard, and respected. Again, listening to our employee groups, making sure that we're taking into consideration some of their frustrations, some of what is happening on the ground level that we can do to help alleviate some of those struggles. And then working to enhance database systems to support employees throughout the district. Mrs. Hostetler out of Human Resources has been a tremendous help this year in working to bring on systems to provide efficiency not only for the Human Resources Department, the Treasurer's Department, but the district as a whole, which has been a tremendous asset to us. As we continue to grow, paper is no longer helpful, and so these digital systems really do make lighter work. Okay, goal number 3, to effectively manage district operations. Again, we have a few changes here, but certainly, again, as always, we are looking to improve, always. What can we do to better enhance the quality of the information that we are providing to our community? And how can we do better from an operational perspective to not only look to save money, save employees, and really refine the practices that we do well and continue to improve. And so You're all aware we are looking to implement a new website this summer, and that should be done by the beginning of August, and that will be a much more user-friendly platform, not only for our online devices, but also our mobile devices, and bringing information directly to our stakeholders in a much more efficient way. So we're excited about that. And again, looking at expanding our learning spaces to accommodate additional district growth. All of you are painfully aware of the struggles that we face in terms of our student enrollment. I just looked at the latest projection, and we are growing. We ended the year much higher than I anticipated, and I imagine that we will be well over 4,700, closer to 4,800 by next year. So exciting for us, but certainly bringing to light some additional challenges that we will have to address creatively. We have already begun to look at mobile units, as you are aware, that will be in the school as we speak, which will be providing us 8 additional classrooms and 2 more restrooms with some storage space. So good news. Goal number 4, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague and friend.
Thank you. Yeah, so goal number 4, upholding financial accountability, transparency, and responsibility. Engaging the Board of Education and the local community in long-range planning. We do this through various types of presentations here at the board meetings, through committee work and surveys, constantly striving to be better, to do better, and sharing in that vision of what we want the school district to look like, and ultimately the all-encompassing goal of delivering the best educational experience possible for the students of North Ridgeville. And then being able to articulate that financial status of the school district in an easy to understand manner, creating an overall financial awareness. You saw this a lot during the levy campaign, and you will continue to see that as we move closer to November with the bond issue. Working with the county auditor to monitor property valuation changes, as well as the city to stay informed on new area development. So with real estate being the district's largest revenue source at nearly 60%, we always want to make sure that we're keeping that open line of communication with the county auditor as far as valuation changes and new construction, whether up or down, just how that is impacting the financial outlook of the school district. Educating and training staff, again, creating that financial awareness, whether it's budgeting or account codes, reports, or the purchase order process. Just having a better understanding of why we do the things that we do, how the importance of it, and how that all ties into the big picture. And that goes right into then further developing and then fine-tuning those processes, always looking for opportunities to improve, be efficient, and just to better communicate between buildings, between departments. Finally, and this is one that is always easy to put on the back burner, but keeping up with our records retention, especially as, the common theme is, the space issue and running out of space. And this is something that becomes increasingly important. And no, it is not just as simple as throwing things away. It does go through a formal process involving the Historical Society and the Auditor of State's office. But it's something that probably has not been done thoroughly for a very long time, so it becomes more of a priority. There's no need for us to maintain and keep records that we don't need to keep, quite honestly. Kind of goes back to that efficiency aspect that I referred to earlier.
Goal number 5, we don't have any changes, but again, it is critical for a school district to build upon the confidence and support of our community. We depend on our community, and Michael just reiterated, 60% of our revenue is coming from our households, and so it is really important that the greater community knows and understands the great things that are happening in North Ridgeville, and it's up to us to tell our story. We have several avenues that we are looking to enhance the way in which we can share that story. Again, I talked about the website, but making sure that we are highlighting our student accomplishments, highlighting our staff accomplishments. We have so many, and we have done some, again, amazing things over the last year, despite what some districts have been crippled by in regard to the pandemic. Again, looking to make sure that we are communicating very clearly with our stakeholders. I feel that, throughout the Issue 6 campaign, we really did, in my opinion, go out and share our story, and we need to continue to do that and build upon our story and talk about the great things that we've done, the great things that we will continue to do, and creating excitement in the city, and I think we're getting there. We also are obviously looking to always continue to partner with our local communities, our local businesses, and as you're aware, the Armbruster and Don Sparks have done a tour of North Ridgeville and have made lots of connections in regard to finding opportunities for our students through internships and also looking at ways in which we can partner throughout the city. Goal number 6 is a completely new goal, and in italics, to continue progress towards the completion of the master facilities plan. You are all very aware of the work that facilities plan has been doing since December, and they have been re-engaged to really take a look at what is it that we need in North Ridgeville, and how can we work through partnerships to achieve completing what we have in North Ridgeville and really building out North Ridgeville to the best of our ability. So we are looking, and you will see actually 3 resolutions before you tonight, looking at a first step in some of that work. And again, just looking to finalize that partnership with the OFCC. We are obviously looking to develop that timeline, and we are on a tight timeline, as you're all aware, but certainly looking to get out and begin to communicate with the community and talk about, again, the excitement that is surrounding our joint efforts and joint project with the City of North Ridgeville. Continuing to work with all of our partners, again, for campaign materials, for getting out our message, for telling our story, for being able to, again, generate a community and a team of people who go out and really help us move forward with this project. And again, looking to expand technology infrastructure to accommodate our future buildings. I should have clicked that, my apologies. When we're looking at new buildings, it comes with a lot of benefits in, looking at cost savings. When we look at some of the savings that we've seen in this building from an energy perspective, it's pretty outstanding. And the same goes along with technology, being able to upgrade and make sure that we are on a rotation that's giving us the best technology available for the time within budget, and certainly being responsible to our community. So with that, I would open it up to any questions you might have. I appreciate, again, the input and thoughts as we look to roll out our goals to our greater North Ridgeville community.
Well, thank you. And so the community knows this isn't something that we do and then we put it on the shelf. As we set goals, we monitor the goals, and we adjust the goals throughout the year, and then we revisit them at the end of the year to celebrate the successes and address any changes that need to be made. And it's with the team that's sitting in front of us, and the administrative team up here, and the Board of Education. So it's something that's a live document that we address and update as needed. And it's really moving this district forward in so many positive ways. So thank you for the presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
All right, we'll move into hearing of the public. Here's an opportunity for the public to address the Board of Education. If you could please approach the podium, sign in, and state your name. I see none. We'll move right into the consent agenda. The education report.
Thank you. We have a few items for your consideration under the education report. First, we have 7 agreements to consider under the education report. These agreements are annual renewals of contract for special education services and special education transportation that are required to meet the individual needs of students with disabilities. The agreements include the following schools: Murray Ridge, Positive Education Programs, STEPS, Kids Link Neurobehavioral Center, Theradigm Inc., Suburban Transportation, and America's Best Transportation. We also have the pay to participate fees and school fees for the 2022-2023 school year. The 2022-2023 Unified Parent Student Handbook and the North Ridgeville City Schools Board of Education District Goals for the 22-23 school year. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading in consideration for approval will be at our June 21st regular meeting.
Thank you. Moving to Human Resources report, Ms. Saxon. Oh, my bad, let me back up.
I'm sorry.
Into the communications report, Mr. Grigsby.
It is recommended that the Board of Education accept the following gifts with appreciation. $25 was donated by Jennifer Hicks through the Charities Aid Foundation of America Employee Giving Campaign to the North Ridgeville City Schools. $6 was donated by Aubrey Norton to buy a student a ticket for the Swings and Things field trip. A monetary donation of $400 was donated by Capital Square Foundation to the North Ridgeville City Schools as a gift from Honda for the State House tour. Monetary donation of $3,545 was donated by the NRHS Soccer Boosters to purchase girls' soccer uniforms for the North Ridgeville High School girls' soccer team. 200 new reading books was donated by the We Care Closet to the North Ridgeville Early Childhood Learning Community, and we thank our community for their tremendous support of our schools and students.
Buildings and operation report. We have several items to consider under buildings and operations. First, it is recommended that the Board of Ed approve the Ohio Paving and Construction as the low bidder for the repaving of the transportation and maintenance parking lot at a cost of $138,567.80. It is also recommended that the board approve the 2022-2023 district insurance policy through the Ohio School Plan. Total premium is $175,954 for liability, violence, automotive, cyber, and property coverage. This is the first reading for this item. The second reading and consideration for approval will be the June 21st meeting. Now we're ready for the human resources review section.
We have a number of items in the human resources report. 1 administrator resignation, 1 supplemental contract resignation, 4 support staff resignations, 2 administrative contracts, 5 supervisor contracts, 5 non-represented support staff contracts, 1 non-represented support staff appointment, 2 support staff appointments, 12 NREA supplemental contracts, 11 non-NREA supplemental contracts, 9 special project supplemental contracts, 1 hourly tutor, 2 support staff substitutes, 2 ESY teachers, 1 ESY bus aide contract, 13 interior school bus washing contracts, 3 administrative staff contract adjustments, 1 certified staff contract adjustment, 24 support staff contract adjustments, 1 supplemental contract adjustment, 10 certified staff leaves of absence, 2 support staff leaves of absence, 1 adjusted supplemental handbook. This is the first reading for these items. The second reading and consideration for approval will be at the June 21st regular meeting. This concludes the human resource report.
Thank you. As recommended, the board approve the following resolution by the school district board to accept the master facility plan for the Ohio Facilities Construction Commission Expedited Local Partnership Program. I move to approve the resolution in 1 reading.
Second.
Moved by myself, second by Ms. Tamira. That's page 32. Is there any discussion?
18.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaca,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
It is recommended the board approve the following resolution of intent, expedited local partnership program, half mill maintenance requirement. I move to approve the resolution in 1 reading.
Second.
Moved by myself, second by Ms. McCarthy. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Vaca,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira.
Yes.
Roll call.
Mr. Vaca, may I?
Yes.
It is recommended the board approve the following expedited local partnership program project agreement. I move to approve this agreement in 1 reading.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. McCarthy.
Absolutely.
Roll call.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
and Mr. Vaca.
Yes. Human Resources Report, Ms. Saxon.
Yes, we have a few items to consider under the Human Resources Report. 1 administrative contract, 3 certified staff appointments, 1 certified staff extended days contract, 1 certified staff leave replacement appointment, 1 healthcare associate appointment, 2 support staff appointments. I move to approve the Human Resources Report in 1 reading.
Second.
Saxon, second by Ms. McCarthy. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes. And this evening, we have our new hire here for Liberty, Ms. Zapotechny. Would you like to say something this evening?
Thank you.
To Ms. Vaca, board, thank you. Welcome aboard to all of our new staff members that were hired this evening, but I am thrilled to introduce Mrs. Amanda Zapotechny, who will become the next principal of Liberty Elementary School. Since 2018, Amanda has been an assistant principal with the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Prior to her hiring at CMSD, she was a 7th grade language arts teacher at Avon Middle School. Amanda has also spent time as an educator in New York City with her first teaching position as a 7th grade language arts teacher. In addition, she was an education coordinator for Generation Ready and a 5th grade teacher. Amanda earned her bachelor's degree from the University of Akron in middle level education with a focus in language arts and math. She earned her master's degree in educational leadership from Bowling Green State University. Throughout the process, Amanda's ability to become both an instructional leader and relationship builder shone through, and we are very fortunate to have her with us on our team.
Good evening. I really want to thank all of you for this amazing opportunity. I am so honored to be joining the North Ridgeville City School District, and I'm excited to be part of such an innovative and collaborative team. I am really looking forward to getting to know all of the staff, students, and families, and learning about how I can best support the academic and social emotional development of all of our students. Being here tonight and hearing about the district goals and all the progress that has been made towards them thus far is truly inspiring. And I am so excited to be part of this work and to contribute toward the district progress. So again, I just want to thank all of you. I really am honored to begin serving the North Ridgeville community. Thank you.
Thank you. The Board of Education enters executive session to discuss the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of public officials and matters related to negotiations of public officials. There will be no action to follow.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Tamira, second by Ms. McCarthy. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Tamira,
Yes.
Mrs. McCarthy,
Yes.
Mr. Grigsby,
Yes.
Mrs. Saxon,
Yes.
Mr. Vaca.
Yes.
6:24.
Thanks.